Hey guys, welcome back. I wanted to share with you something that happened to me this week that was profound and kind of changed my life a little bit. But I should say that it's not about being hero or hero worship, or I'm not looking for any type of accolades or anything like that. I just want to show you how simple it is to do something or anything in the face of danger or peril, or just a simple act of kindness that could save somebody's life. Now, before I get into the whole story, I should tell you that I am not an EMT, although I do have first aid and first aid, I think they call it mountain survival, whatever that course is that the Red Cross teaches. I've been trained in the military, Marine Corps, on combat survival techniques. We used to carry around our IV bags. I cannot administer drugs, but I can give IVs. So whatever that level of medical attention, that's what I can give up to. Anything from boo-boos to IVs. That's about it. Again, I'm not EMS or EMTs or anything like that, but I think that it's important to understand how the body works. It's important to have the care, the training and the kit that you need to one day maybe save a life. It could be your own, it could be your family members, and it's extremely important. So let me tell you the story. I was working late, and it was probably around 11 o'clock at night. I heard commotion going on. I heard gunshots, and obviously I don't always work in the nicest areas. I heard gunshots. I jumped in my car with my partner and we ran over to where it was. Yes, I do not work alone. And there was a guy on the floor laying in his own pool of blood. Obviously there was a gunfight or a gun battle. I don't know what happened. Maybe it was gangland stuff. I wasn't privy to that information. So the guy was literally on his belly and pool of blood all the way around him. All right. So now I don't know if you really notice, but the average human being has about 8 pints of blood in him. That's not a lot. He probably lost about 3. So I don't know how long this guy had. With the help of the people that were there, or the officers that were there, we rolled him over on his side. He was breathing, he was awake, he was responsive. I immediately did an assessment to find where the blood was coming from, and when we pulled up his shirt, I saw that he was hit in the right clavicle. So it just missed his trachea, it missed his throat, didn't hit him in the heart. But the guy also stated that he couldn't feel his legs. So my assumption was that the bullet went through his chest and hit his spine, which caused his legs not to work anymore, which is why he was kind of like dead weight. But he was awake, he was responsive. So immediately I ran back to my car and I picked up this kit. This is one of the kits that I carry in my car. Obviously, it's not a fancy doodad or doesn't even say first aid on it, but I picked up my kit. I pulled out the gauze, which was, by the way, just some regular old 4x4s. I picked all this up, threw on my gloves, pulled up his shirt, started plugging the hole with my finger. By the time that happened, EMS came over. I told him what happened. I says, listen, this guy's been shot, right clavicle, whatever, can't feel his legs. We put him on a stretcher and off he went to the hospital. I found out later that he was saved, primarily due to the fact that me and another guy plugged his wound, and he survived, which was great. I don't know who he was, I don't know what the deal was, but we acted, and because of that action, he lived. Now, he probably will be paralyzed, maybe for the rest of his life. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know the guy. The point I'm trying to make here is that it's not always about the love of your gear, or, don't fall in love with your gear. Now, I have fancy, really good SWAT tourniquets. I have the IFAK kit that everybody puts on their, LBV. I have the first aid kit that even says Johnson & Johnson, and a whole bunch of other stuff. What I had learned from this experience is it doesn't take a lot. To me personally, did I take a risk? Even the officers on the scene said, you risk yourself getting AIDS and all this other stuff. Yeah, you do. Do you want to contract AIDS and all that other stuff, and you know, who knows what this guy's been doing? Who knows if he was part of a criminal? I mean, the guy could have had a gun on him. You're trying to save his life, and he's pulling guns. We don't know. I don't know. But what happened was the training took over. I saw a guy. I didn't want him to die because acting is better than not acting. Okay, so I don't want to be a reactionary guy. I always want to go to the scene or whatever it is. You know, that's the type of personality I am. There was a bunch of people standing around on their stupid cell phones taking video. That's it. The guy's bleeding out and they're just taking video. And I didn't know at the time because the adrenaline was rushing, and you just kind of like, if anybody's been in a stressful situation, you kind of get that tunnel vision. But he kept saying about how he wanted to call his family and he was really sorry and he loves his family. And I told him that he wasn't going to die today. I was going to make sure that he wasn't going to die today. And he didn't. Small pieces of that situation come back to me. I can tell you, in combat, I have never saved anybody's life as far as a medical condition. So I've never seen one of my buddies get blown up and had to patch him back together. I never plugged a bullet wound ever before. This time, after I'm out of the Marine Corps and after I've gone overseas, I've always carried an IFAK kit. I've always carried some type of patrol kit, but I've never had to save anybody's life, which was great up until this week. So I think what I wanted to say is, if you are someone that carries a firearm, or someone that is maybe like a first responder, or someone that has the need to get into the action, so to speak, it doesn't take any type of fancy kit to do it. This is a shoebox from Sterilite that I think I took from my wife, but you can buy these on Amazon. And I just filled it with a whole bunch of stuff that I thought I would need in an emergency. And out of all the stuff here, I even have tourniquets. I even have the clotting sponge, which would have been a better option than just gauze. The thing that I grabbed was the 4x4s. That's it. 4x4 gauze, gloves, and that's all I took with me. I didn't even take the shears, which, by the way, the shears would have been great to cut off his clothing, but because we were able to pull up his shirt, I didn't have to do that. EMS was going to cut it off anyway, so I didn't really have to worry about. I had trauma bandages. I had all this fancy stuff, but the simplest thing did the trick, which was great, and he lived. So be vigilant, guys. Get your training. Like I said, it's not always the fancy kit or the fancy gear that gets the job done. Stay safe out there, guys. And if you're interested, please go up to threeriverblades.com. Talk to you soon.